Hey sixth graders, welcome back. I am going to explain your next project, which is an oral history project, and you're going to use a planning sheet. Here is the beginning of your planning sheet, and I'll tell you what you need in it. So you're going to create an oral history that teaches a lesson. Use this planning sheet to start a story that teaches a lesson. Try to use some techniques the Dakota used, such as animals and as characters, or like in Badger and the Bear, or use some supernatural characters like the Ghost Wife. Review the Ghost Wife story or Badger and the Bear for examples. Here's what I would like in your story. The product should be, or should have, an animal or supernatural characters. You should have a setting, that means where it takes place. There should be a problem and a solution. 2 Dakota words or themes in your text. For example, teepee or kinship, hunting, types of food, tioshbaye, wo'ohada, and underline them when you use them. Needs to have a lesson or value. There needs to be a beginning, middle, and end, and I'd like at least 200 words total. I'd like you to type it into a Google Doc or neatly handwrite your final product. Needs a title, first name, last name, class period, and 2 or more images that you may draw or borrow from the web. If you borrow from the web, you're going to need citations. So here is an overview of the planning sheet, and there are some cells intended to help you. And you don't have to write this in order. You can write it as ideas come to you. So for example, the first one, characters. So write a list of characters in this space. The setting, so where does it take place? Think of a problem, think of a solution, or it could be resolution. And here write 2 Dakota words. And it might be helpful to scan your notes or your Dakota text or your Northern Lights text for that. What is the lesson that you want taught? All right. Then I'd like you to have a beginning. So sketch out a beginning. It doesn't have to be perfect right off the bat. So for example, you could start with, there once was a, like in the Badger and their Bear, there once was a Badger family. Or you could start out by describing how good or bad things were at the time, or describe the personality or behaviors of the main character, like in the Ghost Wife. So in this place, write how things are going to start out in the beginning, and when you are ready, just write a basic image here to kind of help you. All right, then you're going to need a middle. So in the middle, I want you to describe the problem, elaborate about the conflict between the 2 characters. So you could say, like, there came a time when such and such issue happened. So that's kind of transitioning to the middle. Or someone came along and said, you must do this, and if not, this is going to happen. Someone came along and started a problem. People tried to fix it, but it didn't work out. Oh, I'm sorry about the focus here. Sorry about that. Pardon my technical difficulties. Bear with me. And then the ending, so for example, a supernatural power came to the rescue, or a person made a mistake that cost them, or this is where you maybe explain the lesson. Okay, so you're going to do that in these cells. I want to show you how this might look if you were the one who made up the story of the ghost, or the Badger and the Bear. All right, so characters for Badger and the Bear were the Badger, the Bear, and the Avenger. The setting is a house on a hill. And the problem is the bear is not grateful. He takes food in the Badger's house. The Avenger comes then to teach the bear a lesson. That's the solution. Now some Dakota ideas or words that I thought of were venison. Venison is deer meat. That's something that the Dakota relied on. And I put welcomed, because they believe in welcoming people. And the lesson being taught here is to be generous. So notice this is not in order, but it's simply a plan to sketch out what happened. All right, so now, how do I want the beginning if I was writing this? I would say, here's some ideas that I want in the beginning. So for example, the bear came to the Badger house, and he was hungry. Badgers feed him, but the bear was not thankful. So here's my picture of the bear and the Badger. Here's my bear, here's the badger. It looks kind of more like a T-Rex, I guess. The bear came back again. This time he took the badger's house, kicked them out, and later would not share food with the hungry badger family. So you'll notice this is the middle part of the story. This is where the tension and the problems are happening. All right, and then finally, at the end, after telling the badgers to go away, a powerful avenger came to teach the bear a lesson. The bear fled, and the badgers returned to their home. Here's my amazing picture of my avenger chasing away the bear. So what you're doing today is planning your oral history story. And I just want to acknowledge that planning a story is not always easy for everybody. And so this planning sheet is simply meant to help you. And it's okay to come up with ideas in a different order. Okay? You can erase, you can change your mind, and then of course I want you to have a beginning, middle, end. I also will say that some people know exactly what they want to write, and so they actually could just start writing the rough draft. But I would like you to get your creativity going and start thinking about what kind of lesson do you want to teach. And one thing again about using Dakota words or language is go back to your Northern Lights text. So for example, here's the paper version. I noticed the word Tioshbaye, or extended family. Oh, this is an important term, an idea for Dakota people. So that is something that maybe I would put here for Dakota words. So when it comes to Dakota words, scan your worksheets, scan your assignments, go ahead and scan the text, and you can start your process. So I look forward to your stories, and there's more details to come about this, but this is just a way to get you started. All right, everybody, have a great day.